Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are diving deep into a powerful speech by Dr. Arikana that exposes the truth about the history and ongoing struggles of Black people worldwide. He talks about stolen wealth, brainwashing, and the fight for reparations. Some of what he says is uncomfortable, but it's the reality we need to face. So I want you to pay attention, reflect, and think about what it means for us today.
The abuse is not just for Africans on the continent, the abuse is for Black people wherever you find us. I'm going to share with you some basic facts. You see, our story is a simple one. Our story is of truth and facts, which are two constants that do not change. And all we need to do is give the world an overdose of our truth and insist on it. As we speak today, I'm going to take you back centuries, long before the children of Africa were taken out of Africa as slaves. There was some serious resistance when the occupiers from the West came to Africa, contrary to what some might think. They didn't just give up their children, but the fighting began long before slavery. And the resistance was those who led them, the majority of them, their heads, as we speak today, are sitting in jars in Europe. Are you aware of that? Our leaders, our ancestors who fought the wars of resistance, their heads, their remains are sitting in jars throughout Europe. And the same people have the audacity to come to Africa and talk to us about human rights. But what's even more disturbing is that we entertain them and we don't remind them of these skeletons in their closet. As we speak today, the priceless artifacts that they stole from all over Africa are sitting in their museums throughout Europe. And when you and I, when we visit Europe, we pay to see what belongs to us. Evidence of theft, evidence of murder on display in plain sight. As we speak today, Black people are listed as 3/5 of a human being in the US Constitution. As we speak today, the redlining continues. As we speak today, African countries are being made to pay ridiculous interest rates on loans that they should not be paying for. As we speak today, reparations are due. Everybody else has been given reparations, expect us. The question then becomes, what is wrong with this picture? Why aren't you and I standing up and demanding that what is right must be done? I can tell you why. Because no other race would stand for a minute what is being done to us. How long do you think a finger of a British soldier lasts in Zimbabwe? How long do you think a thumb of a German soldier lasts in Namibia? Not even a minute. They would storm in, kill hundreds, if not thousands of people just to recover that one finger? Why is it that we are unable to come together and speak our truth and demand that what needs to be done must be done? It's because they defeated us where it matters the most, which is the mind. It started with the missionaries in Africa long before slavery. They were sent by the Roman Catholic Church to subdue the Africans, make them believe that when you get slapped, turn the other cheek, and that your riches are in heaven. So by the time they followed with the colonizers to reap and rape Africa, we were already brainwashed. We were meant to believe everything African was bad and undesirable, and everything European was better. And the same brainwashing continued as our children were taken out of Africa enslaved. It continued on the plantations, color gradations, light-skinned versus dark-skinned, field workers versus kitchen workers. To this day, we suffer from the legacy of slavery and the legacy of colonization. For how long are we going to continue to suffer from this affliction? For it is singularly the reason why we are not able to come together just like other races and nationalities have done in this melting pot that is the United States of America. When you ask for the voices of the Irish Americans loud and clear, Jewish Americans loud and clear, German Americans, Italian Americans, Chinese Americans, Indian Americans, their voices are loud and clear. But when you ask for the voices of us black people, you might as well go to the graveyard, because we are missing in action. We were taught, we were brainwashed into not even loving ourselves as individuals, let alone each other. We were taught not to trust one another. We were taught not to believe that my brother can, my sister can, but somebody else who doesn't look like you and I is better. The question I have for all of you, just close your eyes and think about your children, your grandchildren. Is this the world you want to leave behind for them? If the answer is no, then you need to have a serious conversation with the image in the mirror. Because it is the image in the mirror that must change. It is the image in the mirror that must understand that you are sick from this affliction of the legacy of slavery. You are not sick at home. You are not sick in the doctor's waiting room. You are not sick in the hospital ward. You are sick in the intensive care. How long are we going to continue to support other people's agendas? Those who stood up to fight during the civil rights movement, during the Pan-African days in Africa, civil rights in the United States, they were all silenced. We are emerging out of a period of 20 to 30 years where just nothing is going on. We are all fast asleep. When are we going to wake up? Reverend Al Sharpton is saying, the time to wake up is now. Reparations now. We know all the companies that benefited from slavery. We have their name. We have the list. They must pay. As we speak, many have pledged their contributions. Guess what's going to happen, my brothers and sisters? Because we are not organized, we will never realize those funds. And they will hide behind, oh, they are disorganized. They don't know what they are doing. I am now going to be asking Reverend Al Sharpton to lead us as we demand those reparations. We need to register a global Pan-African fund that can make sure that we have development in black communities where it belongs. Those funds must be organized. Those funds must be paid for. Reparations for black people now.
Dr. Arikana starts by pointing out something important. The abuse black people face isn't just in Africa. Wherever we exist in the world, whether in America, Europe, or elsewhere, we are still subjected to discrimination, marginalization, and exploitation. She emphasizes that the story of black people is one of truth and resilience, not lies and distortions that history books often present. One of the most eye-opening parts of this speech is the reminder that resistance existed long before the transatlantic slave trade. Africans did not simply allow their people to be taken. There were wars, uprisings, and brave leaders who fought to protect their communities. And here is something shocking. Many of these leaders who gave their lives resisting colonizations have their remains, some even their heads, preserved in museums across Europe. It's hard to imagine, but the people who lecture Africa about morality and human rights are the same ones holding the proof of our ancestors' bravery. This is more than history. It's evidence of theft, violence, and disrespect that continues to this day. Dr. Arikana also highlights how much of Africa's wealth was stolen. Not just gold and resources, but priceless cultural artifacts. These items are now in European museums, and when we visit, we often pay to see what was stolen from us. It's more than money. It's a symbolic reminder that our history has been taken from us and displayed as someone else's treasure. He also points out the ongoing economic exploitation, such as unfair loans and discriminatory systems like redlining in the United States. Other groups have received reparations for the past injustices. Why haven't black people? That's the question Dr. Arikana challenges us to ask. Perhaps the most critical point he makes is that the greatest conquest wasn't physical, it was psychological. Before slavery, missionaries were sent to Africa to condition the minds of Africans. Their teachings encouraged submission, patience in suffering, and belief that rewards lay only in heaven. By the time colonizers and slavers arrived, the mental groundwork had already been laid. Africans were taught to view everything African as inferior and everything European as superior. This mental programming followed us to the plantations, creating divisions, colorism, and mistrust, which continue to affect black communities today. Dr. Arikana makes a very strong comparison. Other immigrant groups in America, Irish Americans, Jewish Americans, Italian Americans, Chinese Americans, have loud, unified voices. But black people, despite our numbers and history, often struggle to organize a unified voice. Why? Because we were conditioned not to trust each other and to undervalue our own potential. This lack of unity has made it harder to demand justice, secure reparations, and assert our rights globally. The effects of slavery and colonizations are not ancient history. They still impact us today. from systemic racism in education, housing and employment, to cultural misrepresentation and economic exploitation. The legacy continues. Dr. Arikana points out that this is why so many Black communities struggle to come together, even when facing shared challenges. He reminds us that the problem is internal, as much as external healing begins with awareness and self-reflection. One of the most important parts of this speech is about reparations. We know the companies and nations that benefited from slavery. We have their records, we have the names, but without organization and unity, those owed reparations will never materialize. Dr. Arikana calls for the creation of a global Pan-African fund to support development in Black communities and ensure reparations are received where they belong. He stresses that action, structure, and unity are crucial. We cannot remain passive if we want justice. Dr. Arikana challenges each of us to look in the mirror. The question is simple. What kind of world do we want to leave for our children and grandchildren? The answer begins with self-awareness, education, and collective action. We cannot wait for others to fix our problems. We must wake up, organize, and demand what is rightfully ours. Dr. Arikana's message is clear. Our history, wealth, and even minds have been stolen. But we have the power to reclaim our narrative. It's time to wake up, unify, and act. The fight for reparations and justice is not just about money. It's about dignity, history, and the future of our people. If this commentary spoke to you, do your part. Like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe so we can continue spreading the truth together. The story of our people matters. Our voices matters. Let's make sure the world hears it.